Mystery 4. What is hypocrisy and why did Jesus hate it? Jesus taught many subjects over his 3-year ministry, yet he warned of hypocrisy in judging others in 6 of his 37 parables. Hypocrisy means being critical about the sins of others, even when making the same mistakes. Why did Jesus warn of hypocrisy so much? And how did the people respond to his teachings? Let's look back at what Jesus teaches and see how to shed hypocrisy and grow love instead. 1. In Matthew 7, verse 3, Jesus asks the crowd why some people try to pick sawdust out of someone else's eye when they have logs or planks in their own eyes. What does this mean? Answer. If you have something in your eye, you're not going to see things very clearly or judge others correctly. Because we aren't without blame ourselves, it is wrong to call out someone for doing something wrong, especially for the same thing. That's hypocrisy. 2. In Matthew 18, verses 23 to 35, we find the parable of the unforgiving servant. It tells of a servant who owed his boss a lot of money. The boss, seeing that the servant could not pay, chose to forgive the debt. But then the boss found the same servant beating and threatening another guy for not paying him back. What's wrong with that? Answer. It's hypocritical. The boss took a big loss because he saw that the servant couldn't pay him back. The servant, likewise, should be forgiven the man who owed him money. 3. In Matthew 15, verses 10 to 20, Jesus spoke about the words that came out of the people's mouths. He said a person becomes defiled, or spiritually unclean, by what comes out of their mouth, not by what they put into it. What's the problem? Answer. Jesus was speaking to religious leaders who were following Old Testament law and paid close attention to people's choice of diet, or what goes into their mouths. These very same religious people would speak ill of others, gossip, and think they were better than others because they ate food the way presented in Leviticus. Who cares what that you eat if you're rude and thoughtless? They were being hypocritical. 4. In Luke 18, verses 9 to 14, Jesus talks about 2 men, a religious leader and a tax collector, who went to the temple to pray. The religious leader prayed, thanking God that he wasn't a sinner like others and he kept the law. The tax collector prayed, accepting he was a sinner and asking God for forgiveness. Jesus said the tax collector was doing better than the religious leader. Why? Answer. It doesn't matter if someone is a religious leader or a tax collector. We are all sinners and need God's grace and mercy. We shouldn't think we are better than others, and we are saved by our own works. If we judge others for being sinners, we are being hypocritical.